Namaste. I hope all those divine members who are viewing this YouTube channel are immensely enjoying the Kriya Kundalini awakening rendered through Mahavatar Babaji. What Babaji learnt through Agastya Siddha is coming to us. There is no pattern for this program as such, as I understand, because the theory will go on talking, describing all that one needs to do, one need not do. The unique nature of this Kriya Kundalini awakening, rendered through Mahavatar Babaji, is taking us direct to the divinity. The reason is there are 14 to 15 types of systematic approach we will have to do in yoga or in tantra or in combination of both to achieve the ultimate. Patanjali Maharishi, who has rendered the total yogic experience through sutras called Patanjali Yoga Sutras, himself attests that you can forego all these 15-16 steps and straight away reach the God. Straight away encounter the divinity. Straight away you will have a spiritual encounter face to face with the Nayaka, the divine Guru, provided you are sincere, you are a Bhaktiman, not a Shaktiman. You are almost too humble to be accept the divinity in you. We feel who we are to accept the divinity. No. The divinity is always with us. Just because we are not able to accept, not able to realize, not able to become aware of the divinity, we are not accepting it. The moment we see a dollar, we see a high denomination money or a high valued property being given to us or high valued jewelry giving to our possession. Most of the time we may not question. If somebody wanted to give a donation to us, many of us will not question the source. So long no problem comes, we will say, yes, please give it to me. But when divinity comes, the divinity is not visible before us. They come in a very, very subtle form, unnoticed by anybody, including the person who are supposed to have the darshan. The divinities will check 1001 methods. The divinity will be always with us. We may not recognize. It is our fault. Because the universal thing, there are two things. One is universal is God Himself. Another universal is money itself. With money we can buy anything. No doubt there are certain things we cannot buy. But with money, even the death we can have costly death. We can go to a 7-star hotel, convert the 7-star hotel into a beautiful Swargaloka type beds and take relaxation, rest there and treatment there. The ordinary poor man dies on the road. Whereas if we have money, we can make many people to come around us at the time of death. So the universal currency is money. Universal entity is God, the Paramatma. But between these two, majority of the people go towards the money matter, that which is visible, that which is more potent, more powerful, more divine, more graceful, more protecting and nurturing us, is the godly nature of the divinity, which we miss it. The Kriya Kundalini awakening steps, what we are following 1, 2, 3, 4, and today we are embarking on that step 5, is such a supreme system or a supreme method or supreme guidance or supreme pathway given to us for our journey the balance of the journey, what we have to conclude, the balance of the journey, what we have to complete, needs to be very fruitful, painless, blissful, happy, courageous. We need to leave this world one or other day. But when we go, we need to get merged with the macrocosm, which is God, the Paramatma. The journey of Kriya Kundalini Pranayama prepares for a twin method to be happy on the Bhuloka, on the earth, so long we are alive. And making or spreading red carpet for us when we are to leave this place happily. Whatever we have brought, we will leave here. We mentally, physically, sacredly, secretly, spiritually, we are ready ever to leave such things of no value for us, because the most valuable thing for us is to go and get attached to the divinity. The step 5 will take little more closer to the divinity, that which I are going to embark from today. Like the last 4 steps, the step 5 will also be 21 days, and step 6 we hope come back to you on 24th October 2020. Again it is a Saturday. The step 5, number 5 assumes very important in Sanatana Dharma. Let us analyze or let us recall some of the 5 related auspicious things which are in and around us, which are part and parcel of our lifeline. The whole body of us is made out of Panchabhutas: the Agni, fire; Jala, water; Vayu, air; Prithvi or earth; Akash or ether. The whole of human body is made out of these Pancha Bhutas. Whatever you take, whatever you touch, whatever you take, everything inanimate or animate will be in color, will be one of the 7 rainbow colors only. But animate or inanimate articles, including the human body, is made out of Panchabhutas. Predominantly, one Bhuta may be more, one Bhuta may be less, but it is made out of Panchabhutas. The entire universe itself is made out of Panchabhutas, for that matter, because the Anda and the Pinda both are interconnected, both are one and the same. The Paramatma and the Jivatma are one and the same. To that level, we have been elevated by the divinities, gods. In most of the temples, especially in southern temples, you would have seen that the idols or the statues are made out of 5 metals, Panchalogas. The Panchalogas are combination of gold, silver, copper, zinc and iron. Sometimes they may add in a very smaller proportionate tin as well as lead also, but that is very insignificant. It absorbs some kind of energy, electrifying energy, so that it becomes a perennial source of energy emitting instrument in the form of divine statues or idols. Our whole system is made out of the prana energy. The energies are divided into 5 parts: prana, apana, samana, vayana and udana. Each of these vayus take care of different functions of our whole body when we are alive and when we are not alive also. For example, the last Vayu, the Udana Vayu, if a person dies, if the person's body is buried, instead of consigning it to the fire, the body will be put under the ground with 5 or 6 feet of pit being made. Now the body cannot remain as it is. It is that Udana Vayu which makes the body decompose even after the death. Little later, in some other situation, we will understand about the Panchavayus. Now we will go to the next 5 significant. What is there? You would have seen Navaratna. Among the Navaratnas, Pancharatnas are a little higher quality, little higher value. That is emerald, what is called as Maragatam, Manika is ruby, pearl, Muttu, coral or Havala, and finally the costliest is diamond, Vajra, Hira, I think. These are highly valued among the Navaratnas named as Pancharatnas. In every Shiva temple, the Panchakshara is very supreme. Na, Ma, Si, Va, Ya. What we pronounce or recite as Om Namah Shivaya. The Om is a Samputa. The Om can come anywhere in a sloka or in a mantra. Either it can come in the beginning or it can go into the end or it can come in the center. So the Om is a part of Samputa. So the Om can be put anywhere. But the major Panchakshara is Na, Ma, Si, Va, Ya, Namah Shivaya. This is the highest form of energy rendering sloka. A person who is having less memory or the students who are having less memory, if they are able to write Om Namah Shivaya 108 times daily in a notebook, after 48 days, you check the memory of that person. If somebody is finding it difficult to memorize certain things for the purpose of examination or for any purpose, they can make use of Om Namah Shivaya, the supreme mantra. And we will go to the next one. We cannot have the taste, the sight, the smell, the sparsh or the hearing of the sound without the indriyas. The predominant 5 indriyas are our eyes, ears, nose, mouth as well as the skin, which through the sparsh by touch we are able to sense. All these things are Pancha Indriyas, which are sensing Indriyas for us. Likewise, there are Panchabhuta Sthalas, Panchavati, where Sri Rama's Lakshmana and Sita Devi spent major portion of their 14 years of Vanavasa. There are 5 different temples for Shiva called Panchapitas: the Ratna Sabha, Kanaka Sabha, the Rajat Sabha, the Tamra Sabha and the Chitra Sabha. Similarly, Shiva is depicted as having 5 faces: the Ishanam, the Tatpushanam, the Agoram, the Vamadevam and the Satyojatam. There are 5 Spatika Lingas which have been installed at different holy places by none other than Adi Shankara. The Varalingam at Nepal, the Mukti Linga at Kedarnath, the Moksha Lingam at Chidambaram, in Sringeri the Yoga Lingam and in Kanchipuram the Bhoga Lingam. Similarly, the Panchamurtis of Shivas are referred as Ugramurti, Shantamurti, Vashikaramurti, Anandamurti and Karunamurti. There is a temple in Kumbakonam, Tamil Nadu, which is predominantly from ages it is called Shiva. There is called Panchavarneshwara, because on different times of the day the lingam turns into different colors. 5 different colors it emits during the day on a single day. Anytime you can go and see. In astrology or Jyotisha, there is a Panchamaha Purusha Yoga. These Panchamaha Purusha Yoga are formed by 5 different planets. They give very auspicious results through different yogas. The Panchami is a Tithi which is the fifth day after Amavasya or after Purnima. This is a very auspicious day from which date the moon either acquires more strength or loses day by day strength during the next 15 days. There are 4 Vedas, but popularly it is referred as Panchama Veda, which includes the biggest or longest epic or one of the longest epic called Mahabharata. With Mahabharata, the 4 Vedas are referred to as Panchama Veda. Sri Rajagopalachari, the first Governor General of India after the independence, in his book Mahabharata for Students, somewhere in the preface he has written that what is not there in Mahabharata is nowhere. That means it contains all the essence of all the 4 Vedas, which will be very easy for the normal persons to read and understand, then referring to the Vedas. That is the reason it attains the name of the Panchama Veda, or the 5th Veda. The Archana articles are also 5. The coconut, the betel leaf, the betel nut, the plantain, and the agarabati or the incense stick. All these 5 articles form Panchama article for the purpose of any basic puja. Number 5 assumes most significant in numbers. If you make a triangle, on the left side if you write 1, next step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you take the odd numbers, the 1, 3, 5 is on the summit, on the peak, then 7 and 9 comes. The 5 assumes very, very significant because it takes to the top of the Shivaloka. The bottom belongs to the Shiva, the top belongs to the Shiva. You would have heard the story, Brahma and Vishnu, they go to see the bottommost portion as well as the topmost portion of the Shiva, and they take journey. That story most of you may be knowing it. So the bottom of a triangle belongs to Shiva, the top of the summit also belongs to the Shiva. Now this particular triangle understanding is given for the 5th step of the Kriya Kundalini Pranayama. In this pranayama, we are going to participate in such a way, we are not going to do any activity today. The prana intaking, inhalation, exhalation, holding is all the 3 put together is called pranayama. Whether you do a pranayama, do not do a pranayama, automatically every minute, every second we are in pranayama only. Let us assume. So we are going to be loose and natural today without doing any activity. We are going to very calmly we are going to chase something. I will explain to you what we are going to do. Every day, every time, every minute we do pranayama. Without pranayama, a person cannot exist alive. So it automatically happens. We are not aware of it. Whether we take food or not, whether we take water or not, but breathing continuously goes on, which is pranayama. Automatically it happens. The inhalation and exhalation is the process mainly, but that is again divided into 4 parts. The inhalation is called Puraka, the exhalation is called Rechaka. So this we will first clear it. Puraka and Rechaka. Inhalation Puraka, exhalation Rechaka. After the Puraka, the moment the air goes inside, the vital energy goes inside, we are holding the breath for some duration. In the next step 6, we will know more about it, but time being, In order to create awareness, we need to know this. The moment we do inhalation, that is Puraka, before exhalation, we are holding the air within us. That is called Kumbhaka. Puraka, Kumbhaka, and Rechaka. Now from second step, we have gone to the third step. Knowing two steps, we have gone to the third step also. There is also a fourth step. Inhalation is Puraka, holding is Kumbhaka, exhalation is Rechaka. That is, leaving out the air is Rechaka. After leaving out the air, before taking in again, we are going to Shunya, Shunyaka, or Bahya Kumbhaka. The air is Kumbha, but it is outside our body, that is Shunyaka or Bahya Kumbhaka. The air is inside our body, that is Andar Kumbhaka. So the main process is Puraka and Rechaka. Now, the process of today is very, very important. The process of today is very, very important for observation. We will make a triangle, just assuming we are going to lie down. We are not going to lie down, but for understanding, we are lying down. Now, one corner of the triangle is going to touch our Mooladhara chakra in the bottom. The left side of the triangle is going to touch our Agya chakra. The top of the triangle is for this observation, for our understanding. The moment inhalation is over, assume that the inhaled air has, from there it has come to our Agya chakra. The moment it touches the Agya chakra, the holding goes to the tip of the third edge of the triangle. Now today's program is going to be very, very simple. When I say close your eyes, all of you take a comfortable seat in the place wherever you are. Take a Sukhasana, Vajrasana, Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana, or Utkatasana, whichever way you want to sit. But the only thing is, you should sit in such a way your chest, your neck, as well as your head. Your chest, your neck, as well as your head. All must be in straight line. When you keep a straight ruler here, all must be straight. This is the only condition. You can take Chin Mudra, and keep your chest, neck and head in straight line. Close your eyes. After closing your eyes, now do not do anything. Be in silence. Now keenly observe, very keenly observe your breathing. There will be no music, there will be no other sound to your ears. Only you will have to concentrate the breathing, the inhalation and the exhalation. First step, the Puraka and Rechaka. Just close your eyes. Slowly put your whole concentration on the inhalation and exhalation. Don't do any activity. Don't inhale or exhale. Do not do exhale. Leave it normal. Be loose and natural. Just go behind the breath. Just go behind the breath. I am not telling you inhale, I am not telling you exhale. But you are inhaling, you are exhaling. But you are going behind the inhalation and going behind the exhalation. Now slowly come out of the concentration, but keep your eyes closed. Don't open your eyes. Now listen what I am telling you. You are watching your inhalation and you are watching your exhalation both. Now very keenly, still attentively what you did earlier, more than that attention. Now you will have to see one part of what I am going to tell you. Inhalation and exhalation. In between the inhalation and exhalation, there is a break. There is a gap. When you are giving to your left hand to the right hand, the left hand is giving and the right hand is taking. So, in between the giving and taking, there is a very, very thin layer of gap. In the same way, between the inhalation and the exhalation, there is a fraction of the time, Shruti time, where there is a gap. Concentrate totally on that gap. Concentrate totally on that gap. Now you have concentrated. Between the Puraka and Rachaka, there is a gap. Now, for our understanding, we will take Puraka as Shakti, the Rachaka as Shiva. Shiva and Shakti. The inhalation, we will take it as Shakti. The exhalation, we will take it as Shiva. In between Shiva and Shakti, the gap, in that particular gap, we will name it as Shava, the death. In between Shakti and Shiva, the gap we will name it as Shava. Shakti, Shava, Shiva. Shakti, Shava, Shiva. Inhalation, Shakti. The gap, Shava. The exhalation, Shiva. Now concentrate. All the three predominantly on Shava portion. Please concentrate. Now we will make one more understanding. Shakti energy is coming to us. we are becoming Shava, almost embracing, just before embracing the Shiva, we are losing ourselves and we are merging with Shiva. We are gaining energy, we are becoming death, we are merging with Shiva. We are gaining energy, inhalation, no inhalation or exhalation, Andar Kumbhaka, the gap, retention gap, Shava, merging with Shiva. Shakti, Shava, slowly come to conscious, slowly understand. Keep your eyes closed. Now we have understood a deep knowing from the divinity. The Shakti is giving us energy, inhalation. By taking this Shakti, we are holding the air within us, but no inhalation or no exhalation. The moment activity stops, we are nirvana, but the air is inside. As we merge with Shiva, we become zero, we become nirvana, we leave the remaining energy with us, we are going and merging with Shiva. So this is the process. A small death happens in between each breath, inhalation and exhalation. Parvati Devi, in the form of Bhairavi, raises a question to Lord Shiva: what happens between inhalation and exhalation? In between this process, what happens? Lord Shiva, the Bhairava, answers Bhairavi that in between the Puraka and Rechaka, the person dies Shava, Shiva, Shava, Shiva. This secret knowledge imparted by Shiva in the form of question and answer in Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. This is one of the steps chosen by Mahavatar Babaji for step 5, which we will imbibe and we will concentrate on this particular step, which is very intellectually supreme, experientially supreme step. Without doing any activity, we are observing. Slowly come to conscious. Rub your fingers, palm, finger to finger, palm to palm. Slowly rub your eye, face, forehead. Again rub. Again give a massage body. Close your eyes with both your palms. Slowly open and see in and around. Come to total awareness. Hope all of you have enjoyed. There is one clarification I wanted to give you. There are members in YouTube as well as in WhatsApp group. We have guided them to take any comfortable timing, any comfortable asana, any comfortable place also for them. Some members have asked, is there any other auspicious time available other than the Brahma Muhurta? Because some members are finding it difficult to practice in Brahma Muhurta. Those of the members who are already practicing in Brahma Muhurta, those who are enjoying, let them enjoy. For those members who are not able to wake up for obvious reasons, we will give you two very auspicious time for you. The one is the sunrise time. The another one is sunset time. Sandhya, Ushakala and evening Sandhya. That is the reason the Brahmins have been asked to do Trikala Sandhya Vandana. All the three kalas, morning, noon and evening, the Sandhya Kala. When sun rises and when sun sets, it is most supreme. The reason is transformation takes place at the time of sunrise, at the time of sunset. The day is transforming into night, the night is transforming into day. This transformation is considered as the supreme transformation by the rishis. The Rishi Kala is Brahma Muhurta or little before that. But Brahma Muhurta is a very supreme time for the Brahma to do very auspicious activity. It is a time at which no disturbance comes to us. Apart from these two, sitting in dhyana, meditation, being in silence, being conscious pranayama, all such experiences can be undertaken at Sandhya Kalas. So those members who are not able to wake up at 4:30, look at the Google, look at some Panchangas, look at newspaper. Even in the newspaper on the top somewhere they are written sunrise time, sunset time. The sunset and sun time, every day it varies as the sun is moving in the horizon in a different way. So as a result, depending upon the season, Ritu, the sunrise and sunset will be at a different timings. Gradually some changes will be there, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Gradually it will go and come down. Some days night will be more, day will be less. So look at the Google, look at some Panchanga. Online Panchangas are also available, apps are available. Note down for the next day, just see what is the sunrise, what is the sunset. The moment you know sunrise, you can wake up at that time, 10-15 minutes before that you can wake up and sit. Very enjoyable actually, because the Suryodaya is something which brings light in our life. The Chandrodaya comes with the light dependent on sun. So these are the two important timing which one can make use of it in life. With this, we hope that you have enjoyed Kriya Kundalini step 5. The step 6 will be, we expect to upload on 24th October 2020, again Saturday, if message comes from Mahathar Babaji. Till such time, all the very best. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha.